Alright guys, good evening. We're going to have a little lesson about fuel tanks. Now this tank right here has seen better days. This is the original one out of the car, out of the 1972 AMC Javelin. These tanks from factory only held between 13 and 14 gallons. That's what they say. I tend to believe it. They're sort of odd in the fact that they're a two-piece tank. So you have your normal level sender and suction here. Here is for your vent, your canister up front. But the way this tank sat was actually your filler nozzle bolted into the trunk of the car. Like I said, now it came out behind the tag. You had to flip your tag down to get to this. But this bolted up to the inside of the trunk. But it was all outside. There was a tunnel they had made. But that bolted to the underneath the car, up near a tunnel in the trunk. This rubber O-ring sat in here, and then you would take the tank and push the tank up over this. Now, the issue is, over time, these are here would wear out, and this is a prime example of one. This thing is so soft right now from the years of fuel that it is almost like glue. It just smears. The problem with that is over time, when you gave it throttle, fuel would just splash right out of here and you'd leave a trail of fuel behind the car. So I've been going over my head about what I should do about that. The whole tank is underneath the car in the back, and there's a spot I'll show you in a second. But my initial thought is to actually weld this up. And I was looking at getting a new tank because this tank is pretty rusty on the inside. But to actually take and weld this bung up right here and mount this right here. Now I would cut these ears off, but this would literally come up through the trunk. Now I'm not going to open my trunk every time I need to fill up. So what I had in mind, let me get out here where you can see. Is here in the trunk, the fuel tank the fuel tank spout would be coming up through here. Right here is a very flat part on this car, and I've already ordered a filler nozzle that will mount right here. It's got a 2.5 inch outer diameter. It's a push button, so when you push the button, it pops out a little knurl piece, and then you unscrew it. And then you unscrew it back in, push the button, and it'll sit flat, flush to the car, which I really wanted. It has an 1.5 inch tube that would then come out, and then it would connect right in. It would connect right in down here, between there and up there. It's not that hard to do. Problem is, the tank kit, which you have to order, I'd probably need to order the whole kit, is almost $900 for that old tank, which needs a mechanical fuel pump or an inline electrical fuel pump. And then I'd have to modify it anyway. So I'm going to try to insert some pictures into this video so y'all can see what I'm talking about. But what I'm going to do is, you see this yellow mark that I've made in my trunk? Well, that is the size. It would come right across here. Here's that tunnel I'm telling you about. This tunnel, that's where that filler neck would sit up into. This size right here, which is actually a smaller footprint than the current fuel tank, is for a Chevrolet pickup. That's the size of a Chevrolet pickup fuel cell that I have found by Boyd Welding, Boyd Fuel Tanks. And that fuel cell is a 19 or 20 gallon fuel cell, and it comes with a Aeromotive 340 fuel injection in-tank fuel pump, along with the vent and all the other stuff and the mounting off that. It's like $700. And I'm like, okay, if I'm putting an LS in this car anyway, I might as well, because it's cheaper than the fuel tank I'm going to have to buy anyway, and it has everything I already need. So my plan is, because I can't mount that under the car because of the way the bottom of the car sits. As you can see, it has a rise. It's the trunk is imprinted for that stock fuel tank. But my plan is to actually cut these yellow lines out, which gives me a 1/4 inch on all sides of that I think it's a C10 fuel cell. Cut that out, and then basically make a box that fits, that I'll weld in. It'll sit down 7 inches on that side and just a couple inches on this side, and it'll be boxed in. And then this here, I'll reuse this here as the floor pan of it. So basically, whenever I put the fuel cell in here, instead of the fuel cell sitting 10 inches high in the trunk, it'll actually be sitting 3 inches high out of the trunk. It'll occupy a lot of the space that was already occupied by the fuel tank underneath. So that is my thought on that, and I think that is what's going to work out best. You know, I'm spitballing ideas, but I'm already doing a lot of welding on this car anyway. This car is not original, and I want extra capacity. And 14 gallon fuel tank on a fuel hungry car, especially when this thing had a 360 in like the one I had originally, it didn't take long to empty 13 gallons out. So that's my thought. I'm looking forward to trying this. That'll be fun. I'll order that tank and everything after I get all the welding repairs done to the car, because I want to make sure I can get all that done before I start hacking up the back end, because I still got I got the floor pans and the rocker panel and all that other welding to do. And then we'll see about this, but at least I know now this will fit. There was a larger capacity one, but it actually came out an additional like 3 inches on either side. But it would have been a 22 or 23 gallon capacity. It's basically the same size depth-wise. It was just wider. But that's just too wide, because then I would have been cutting into those floor pans over there, and it wouldn't have set right. But this will sit right. This will sit right. So let me know if y'all have any suggestions, ideas. But there again, that fuel cell, I'm going to post a picture of it. It actually has the side port that comes out right here for filling. I can come out right here, go right to that filler neck I'm wanting to do outside, and then I can still fit a full-size spare back here and anything else, bags, whatever. This actually is it's actually a good-sized trunk. It has a really big deck lid on it, so it's awesome. This will all work out really well. But give me your comments, guys. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you agree or disagree. But with a 6.2, you know, all the other stuff I'm doing to it, I might as well go ahead and modify it to fit. It's going to cost less in the end anyway, once I had to pay for a tank or buy this aluminum tank. And also, the stock fuel tank doesn't have baffles. It was just a hollow shell, so it was splishing and splashing everywhere. Where this tank from Boyd has got 3 baffles in it. So that's that, and you know, and I just keep coming up with more ideas, but it's spending money, but it's also not spending as much money. I'm finding ways around spending tons of money on this project. It's still going to be an expensive project, but it's not going to be super crazy. This isn't going to be a $60,000 car. And there again, you know, paint job. I don't want a show quality paint job. I want a paint job that is for the street, for the road, because I am going to drive this car. This is going to be a driver. So, share, like, subscribe. Give me your love, guys. I'm looking forward to all the upcoming videos. You guys have a good night. See you next time.